I'm not gonna lie, and I surprised myself with this. I laughed more during the reboot than during the original. Welcome to Original versus Reboot, the show where we take reboots and remakes and compare them to their original film. I'm Carl, and the film of today is National Lampoon's Vacation. The lead role in the original Vacation was played by Chevy Chase, whereas in the reboot it was played by Ed Helms. Now, straight off the bat, the reboot is technically more of a sequel, but it was packaged as Vacation, as National Lampoon's Vacation. However, the lead character isn't the same. The lead character in the reboot is actually the son from the first film, Ed Helms playing Rusty Griswold, rather Clark Griswold. And the reason for that becomes apparent later on in the film. But the whole thing with the original Vacation is it's a road trip movie, but it's possibly the ultimate road trip movie. It's the one everyone else bases their one on because it's a cinema classic. And then you've got the reboot. As I say, it's not quite a reboot, but it's technically a reboot, so we're going to treat it as one for the show. It's more of a sequel, but the film isn't a shot-for-shot remake. They don't do the exact same trip. I'll let Ed Helms explain the differences between the two movies.
This will be completely different. For one thing, the original Vacation had a boy and a girl. This one has two boys, and I'm sure that there will be lots of other differences.
I've never even heard of the original Vacation.
Doesn't matter. The new Vacation will stand on its own, okay?
I'm one of the people who loved the original the first time around watching it. I laughed my ass off during it. So I wasn't too optimistic heading into the new one, although I am a big fan of Ed Helms. Christina Applegate's also in it, and she's also got a pretty good comedy history too. So I think I should focus more on the reboot in this one because everyone knows about the original. The reboot, they had to get their casting spot on in whoever played the lead role, and I think they did just that because Ed Helms is the perfect man to play the lead in a vacation movie.
I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
What's a rim job?
I would guess a rim job is when you kiss someone with your mouth closed.
That's it?
So you're only using the rim of your mouth. Hope you're not too old to let your dad give you a goodnight rim job.
You're following up on Chevy Chase, who was in his prime when he made that movie. Was at his possibly his funniest when he's playing Clark Griswold, either in the Christmas one or the Vacation one or European Vacation. I think that's some of his best work. Ed Helms had some big shoes to step into. Even though he wasn't stepping into the same character, he was still the lead man in a vacation movie. And ultimately, both films had the same goal. The family is trying to get to Wally World. Both films, for their respective time, had a lot of big name cameos. For example, in the original, they had Eugene Levy and John Candy. In the remake, they had people like Chris Hemsworth, Charlie Day, Michael Pena, a whole host of people you'll be familiar with. But here's the thing, let's start comparing the two as we do on original versus reboot. So I don't think it's fair to compare the two on visuals because one was made 20, 30 years after the other when technology had come on leaps and bounds. Technically, the new one looks better because it's had the advancement in technology. Same with sound. They both have the same soundtrack. They both have the same song. And that song, Holiday Road by Lindsey Buckingham, has been stuck in my head ever since I watched both movies, and I fear it's going to be there forever. Just constantly whistling it. Can't get it out of my mind. It's a great song. It's going to get stuck in your mind if you watch either of these movies, because it's in both of these movies. But I think the reboot does enough to pay respect to the original, and it has its own twist, and it's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of good comedy in there, a lot of it played up by Ed Helms being really funny. I think this film is a perfect example of just what a great comedy actor Ed Helms is. The fact he's able to hold his own in a vacation movie. It does end up where the new Griswolds end up outside of B&B. And who owns the B&B? Clark Griswold. And out comes Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, and two characters from the original films come out. You can see Chevy Chase really enjoyed being Clark Griswold again.
I can't think of anything more fun to do than to get back into this character because there's nobody like Clark. You're getting so big. Come on, let's go in.
Clark.
No, I can do it really.
Ow, this really hurts.
One thing I liked about the reboot is that they didn't take Clark Griswold and, give it to someone else, because Chevy Chase will always be Clark Griswold. Ed Helms taking on the role of Rusty, that's not a big surprise because Rusty changed so many times down the years. Even in Christmas Vacation, he's played by Johnny Galecki. In the next film, he's played by someone else. In the original film, he was played by someone else. Rusty's constantly changing, so it didn't matter that Ed Helms took up that role. But if you had taken Clark Griswold and it was Clark Griswold bringing his family across the country in a car, I don't think that would have got down as well. The thing is, these two are very hard to compare for original versus reboot because, as I say, you can't really compare them on visuals or sound. You're left with stuff like acting in the film, comedy value, overall story, and both films tell the same story pretty much. So again, it's very difficult to compare the two, and when it's that close, you kind of just have to give it to the original, on all those points because they did it first. Although, I will admit, when I watched the two films for original versus reboot, because I always do that, I always watch the two films back to back. I watched the original Vacation, then I watched the reboot. I'm not gonna lie, and I surprised myself with this. I laughed more during the reboot than during the original. And maybe that's just because I saw the original so many times. And I'm not taking anything away from the original. I'm not saying the original isn't funny. I think maybe I've just seen it too much. I'd only seen the other Vacation once before that, so the jokes are a little bit fresher. But both films are definitely very funny films. And I think they've done a great job with the reboot. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with that, say it was complete garbage. And to those people, I would say, watch it again, but try not to be biased as you watch it. And I know it's a weird thing to say, but if you go into that with an open mind, remembering that they're not trying to remake Vacation, they're kind of just doing a new Vacation. They should have called it National Lampoon's New Vacation or something along those lines, because I think the fact that they made it Vacation instantly says this is a reboot, they're trying to change it, they're trying to fuck it up. And that wasn't the case. It was very much respectful to the original while being its own film, and definitely is one of the better reboots I've seen while doing this show. However, we could ultimately come down to which is better. And I don't think I can claim that the reboot is better than the original. All I can say is that it's a very good reboot. So, with that in mind, the original takes the win yet again. I'm not sure the score right now, who's winning, original or reboots. I'm pretty sure it's originals. If you watch the playlist, you might know the score already. You can tell me in the comments if you do know. So guys, let me know what you think. Which was better, the original Vacation or the new reboot? I guess it's a reboot, as I say, it's kind of a sequel, more of a reboot. But let me know if you've seen both films, which one was better. At the end of the day, maybe I think I'm wrong, and if you do, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you like this video, please hit the like button just so that I know what you're watching. And of course, if you're new to movie film, this is the first time you're checking us out, please hit that subscribe button for new content every Wednesday and Friday. And with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching.